Hello, yesterday I've been shown an investment opportunity to a crypto project, and that triggered my desire to share with you my thoughts. But I think we'll go to this subject again and again. And I want to talk about something maybe you'll find a little bit shocking, but I call it for myself cockroach method of investing. Cockroaches are pests that unfortunately just don't make our life any better in any sense. But they, together with rats, are known to be the extreme survivors. In case of the nuclear war, I think they are probably the most likely to survive. And the cockroaches, they have very interesting technique. If you ever observe them, hopefully you haven't, but they come out of their little holes, and initially you can see only their antennas. Then they make a small circle, they make a bigger circle, they make a bigger circle and bigger circle to make sure that they're in the safety. And then they start exploring the areas around, looking for the food. So I think is that I just use this analogy because when you look at the investment, you can pretty much follow the same technique. So go back to what I've seen yesterday. Let's look at it just as a case study. So first of all, it was presented as YouTube, recorded at home. That's no problem. Then it was several other videos linked separately using another recording technique. That's also not a problem. First of all, there was several things that what I call red flags that I instantly show that the investment is probably something to avoid. The person talking in great details about how to transfer the normal currency, pounds and dollars, to FTX, it's one of the biggest exchanges. Then talking about moving it from FTX to another exchange. And that for me is the first red flag, because it's a natural process for you to move from the fiat currency, pounds, dollars, euros, to cryptocurrency using exchanges, centralized exchanges. And then if the project is decentralized, DeFi project, then you need to move it to another thing. But it makes no sense to move it from one exchange to another. And then the person keep talking about this thing, and then she mentioned FTX, she mentioned Coinbase, which is another exchange, and then she was mentioning Coinbase app. And that's what triggered my attention, because when she was showing Coinbase, she was showing indeed Coinbase application, but Coinbase app was completely different app, has nothing to do with Coinbase, and actually was misspelled, and I couldn't even find the coin that person was referring to. So going back to the framework, when you look at the project, and again, it's not any different from the crypto to equity to any other investments. First thing, you can do what I call paper trading. So you can say, let's pretend that you invest into this project. You can say, okay, let's say I bought it today. You can start observing, you can create a little spreadsheet or even write it on a piece of paper. And you can say to yourself, okay, so let's assume I want to risk, let's say $1,000 in this investment. So you say, okay, what will happen with this $1,000 2, 3, 4, 10 days later? And I want to say it, I think again, I'm not discovering anything for yourself. Anyone who puts you under the time pressure saying, this investment has to be done either today or never, for me it's another red flag. It's the reason not to invest. When I was working in BNP Paribas, I met a person who I consider to be one of the best traders I ever met. And he told me, Rafik, if you ever see the price, you will see it again. If you look at Bitcoin, if you look at Ethereum, if you look at other currencies, cryptocurrencies, you see that they're hitting the same level again and again. So it's highly unlikely that you will miss opportunity. But even if you do miss opportunity, it is known sales technique when people want to hide something from you, or they just want to for you to make decisions without any clear judgment. They're putting you under time pressure. So they say the investment needs to be done right now, tomorrow this opportunity will go, and so on. My suggestion is that you rather miss one real opportunity rather than waste your money on 10 fake opportunities or actually scams. So let's say you looked at the investment and you looked at some kind of the paper trading, so you just wrote it down, you looked how the thing performs. Let's go to our next round of the cockroach trip. we just start making small circle. Let's say, for example, you want to invest $1,000. Start from investing $100. Go through the whole process. Ideally, if it is complicated, write it down, particularly if someone helps you how to invest, right? So you take your money, convert it to crypto using exchange, go to, if it is decentralized project, go to the site of the thing. And anything from misspelling to some bad design to anything that triggers your attention, my suggestion is just stop and don't proceed, right? Because again, every time when I was making mistakes in my life, it was when I was going against intuition. Please do trust your intuition. If you feel that something is wrong, there's a good chance it is wrong, right? So if you see, for example, SSL certificate, security certificate, little icon at the top of the script browser, if you see that missing, that could be this red flag. If you see misspelling, if you see when people try to copy the name that is very known brand or known coin, and then they're trying to copy this name with just slightly change of the spelling, that's another problem, right? So there's people who are creating scams in the crypto world. They're becoming more and more creative with every day. Many things are looking extremely legitimate. For any genuine project, there's hundreds of the so-called forks, right? Some of them are pushing project from, actually improving the project, right? So the fork could be very natural improvement. In many cases, it's just a copycat, and then you will be exposed to the rug pull when basically people create one website and then collect the money and disappear with the money. So let's assume that you went through the process, you wrote down the steps, you invested real money. So now you have your $100 at risk. First of all, this should be the amount of money that if you lose, you're not gonna lose the sleep and it's not gonna affect your life. But now let's look at how we can communicate. Let's look at Telegram, Discord, Twitter, any WhatsApp, any other way of communicating with the team that promotes this project, right? Please try to communicate with them. If you see the silence as a response, think about it, what will happen if you really have a problem with your investment, if the investment is bigger, but you cannot communicate in any normal way. So in my case, for example, recently I looked at some project. I had a question, people responded to me pretty much instantly. I found a little bug on the website. They said that they will look at it, and I will check now whether they responded to my suggestion, because actually when they've been showing to people potential return on investment, because it was a fork of another project, they actually made a mistake, right? And now, if you communicate, if you're happy with the way you've been communicating, because that's your only customer support realistically, there is no watchdog, there is no government body to whom you can go and complain. You can talk with the team, they're responding, that's great, thumbs up. If they don't respond, then please do not proceed with this investment any further. Now the next step probably will be something surprising for you. Remember you invested $100? Let's try to sell this investment. But you will say, Rafik, why would I sell it? I just want to increase the investment. When you will try to sell, suddenly you can discover certain things, some unpleasant surprises. When you sell, you may lose some money, you may have experienced some difficulty in selling. You may discover that it could be a small print, that actually your investment is locked either permanently or for a certain period of time. Knowing this, that will significantly change your desire to invest potentially, right? Only once you sold this investment, you successfully got your money back, and you're comfortable with that, then let's go for another step, and then let's start slowly increasing investment. Again, we wanted to invest $1,000, we invested $100, we sold $100 back, got our money back, now let's put some money back. And again, you can go to, I call it eclipse, right? So you can go in, you can invest all $1,000 in one go, but particularly if the crypto is volatile, you may start investing slowly. So you invested $100 and the investment went down, so then you actually can buy it now cheaper. If it goes up, you made some profit, you actually can take some profit. But then, over the period of time, you invested the full amount, this $1,000 that you wanted to invest. Now, the question is, what you do next? What you do next is, because if the project is successful, you now try to start taking the money off the table. So the more of your original investment you can actually disinvest, the better it is. So for example, if the product performed fantastically, then, so for example, you invested $1,000, you're so lucky it become $2,500. Just sell this $1,000 and keep $1,500 on the table because in the project, because your original investment is now safe. Even if you remove $500, it's still better than nothing because your maximum loss is now only $500. And then what you want to do is constantly monitor what's happening with the project. Look at the Telegram, look at the Discord, look at YouTube, the channels like my channel, but probably other channels. There will be some channels dedicated to this project. I find Telegram particularly useful, and I find it really, really disturbing, and I would not invest into the projects where the people who run the project are trying to shut down everyone who is not agree with the position of the team, and they're just kicking out people from Telegram. I think people should be kicked out from Telegram for misbehavior, for using inappropriate language, but definitely not for challenging the team. So I think is that this is more or less a very brief description of what you can do. Please let me know what you think. If you like it, please subscribe, like the channel. But if you have any questions, if that triggered any thoughts, if you can share with me your positive experience and negative experience, that would be great. Thank you much and have a good day.